this is John Kvale, and once again we are out of the office, but this is our Q3 all positive newsletter. We do this in a audio, video, podcast-like format, so if you're driving down the road, we'd like for you to keep your hands on the wheel and pay attention, don't take any chances, but I wanted to verbalize this, and I'm doing this in a little bit different format. There's a lot of graphs here, and it's real easy in today's day and age to find plenty of negatives. So I really went with a positive theme, and I'm hoping everybody's going to like it. We did a new format a quarter or so ago, and I got really good feedback on that format, and it was shorter articles and more of them. But I went with a theme on this. So let's get right to it, and the theme is all positive. So I'm going to run through all of these graphs, and I have kind of a weird contraption. As you can tell, I'm casual again. Do my best thinking when I'm casual and out of the office, so you're getting the best part of me, but maybe I'm not going to give you a close-up. So, hence the hat. All right, so I have kind of the laptop, and I have all my usual suspects, but I have it on a little bit of an interesting contraption here, so I'm going to try and not shake you around like somebody does in a video of their camera. All right, here's graph number 1. This is my favorite graph. Not sure if any of you guys are traveling this summer, but if you are, get ready because it is going to be crowded. This is 2019 and 2022 comparison, and check that out. It's right on top of it. This is TSA Throughput, one of our favorite finds over the last couple of years. And guess what? This is not including the Road Warrior, as I mentioned in you can see the titles. Those of you that are in listen-only mode, I'm just going across. The Road Warrior hasn't even come back yet. Wait until the Road Warrior comes back. When the Road Warrior comes back, we may greatly exceed, and maybe the Road Warrior doesn't come back for a little while. So, okay. Now, I'm going to move on. I've got to move. We've got so many graphs. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to run through each of these because I picked out my favorite 3 to go in the post, but I wanted to have everybody take a look. All right, this is really cool too. This is probably my second favorite graph, so this is going to work in good shape, good form. If I'm not too careful, this is going to get really long, so I'm going to move fast. This is eating in versus eating out. You can see I did a shorter time frame for this, and this is thank you, St. Louis Fred. And it shows, those of you that are in listen-only mode, I'm going over the graph. What's kind of interesting about this is it shows, whoa, during eating out just dropped through the floor. This eating out is the black line, so we didn't go eat out, and hence the reason a lot of restaurants had a lot of problems. And we went in, we stayed in. This was eating in. This is the red line that spiked up. So it's interesting that the black line, you would think some of us went hungry, but I digress. Now, this is kind of interesting, and this feeds into the positive social aspect. I mentioned in the verbiage that most all of us are social, some more social than others. I consider myself, the kids call me Chatty Dad, so I consider myself pretty social. I generally like people, but take a look at this long term. This is a very long term. This is going back to, it's hard to read, about 20 years, and I didn't even know they had data that long. So what it's showing is the propensity for us to eat out more and more and more. And I took note that it right about the time I was crossing near the lockdown, and it is crossing again. This is interesting too. You can see when we had a little bit of this resurgence, we went back into kind of lockdown mode again. But ultimately, one would expect this to continue. Being social people, we would expect this black line to continue to outpace the red. Yes, it may not be good for our waistline. Yes, it is good for those of us that are especially extra social because we like to gather and be with people. Okay, interest rates basically have moved very dramatically, and it's put headwinds on. I've had a lot of discussions, more discussions on fixed income than I have in a while, and the reason being is because it occurred so quickly. I've talked about this over and over. You can see these slow-moving couple of years. These are a couple of months. All right, enough about that. Now, once we've got that behind us, interest rates now are safe money will start earning us more, and it'll correct any of the bumps that we're having. So looking forward, higher interest rates will give us greater returns and repair any of the bumps that had occurred. So all positives. All right, now we're getting into this. This will be a little bit controversial, but I'm going to go there anyway. I'm going to first show just the top part of the graph because I don't want my face to get over the audio. This is the Jolts, and this is basically the job opening available. Huge. Now I'm going to go all the way down. You can see there's tons and tons of jobs, and this speaks to And the positive, I'm going to take the positive on this. This speaks to how good the economy is doing in the face of offering jobs to people. Price earnings ratio. The most blunt tool is the price earnings. It's price divided by earnings. You can do it on anything. They're called cap rates in real estate, but in the equity markets, they're called price earnings multiples. Yes, capital markets have come down. Things are cheaper. Price earnings multiples down, and I mentioned here, it's in the lower part. It's almost back to the mean area. What does that mean? Well, that means, yeah, things have come down, but longer term, things are less expensive. Positive, 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 positive. Always staying positive on this. So longer term, it could mean, and historically has meant better longer term returns. Okay, this one, I'll almost merge this with the Jolts graph. This is, those of you that are listening only mode, I'm in the unemployment rate level. I'm struggling a little bit trying to keep my picture off of the graph, but the top part of this is not important. Unemployment rate is almost back down to where it began, the 2019 level. Again, speaking to the strength of our economy and the economics. All of this could change. I'm just taking a snapshot, and I'm taking the high road. Those of you, I'm going to go to those of you that are in listen-only mode, I'm going back and I'll close this up because it's gotten a little bit long. I'm at 6.5 minutes right now, and I'm outside of the office in a weak Wi-Fi. You guys can come back at me. I know no one will, but somebody who could come back at me with a dark cloud over and say, oh, John, this could all change. Yeah, it could. I'm taking a snapshot right now. You want something negative? Flip on any device that you want. You'll get thrown something negative. I'm showing you something positive. Hope you appreciate it. I hope this was 7 minutes that was worth a little bit of chipper, and you can laugh at me for my ball cap, and hopefully you have a wonderful 4th of July, because 4th of July is coming up, and this again is the Q3 newsletter. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you, everybody that listened to this, got a little more positive. I feel more positive telling you. Thanks for your time, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.